I got the Platinum Trophy for South Park: The Stick of Truth, and now today I'm going to be getting the Platinum Trophy for the sequel to that game, South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Now again, I must warn you guys, if you guys are easily offended, there are a lot of offensive things in this game, so if that's not for you, I recommend that you probably do not watch this video. So of course, if you guys have not checked out my Platinum playthrough for South Park: The Stick of Truth, make sure you go check that out. But in South Park: The Stick of Truth, there were a plethora of missable trophies that we had to look over to get the Platinum for that game. In this game, there is only one missable trophy, and it is difficulty related, and that can easily be solved at the beginning of the game. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it. So of course, the game starts off with our character creation, and usually this wouldn't matter, but in this game it does, because the first thing we have to do to make sure we get that missable trophy is set our difficulty. And as you can see, Matt and Trey went there. Oh Jesus, dude, this is really how it is, and put the difficulty as the color of the skin of your character. So obviously, to get the trophy, the token experience, we had to make our skin color as dark as possible in the game and play on very difficult. So as soon as he load into the game for the first time, the first thing our character is seen doing is sitting on the toilet taking a crap.
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet.
Shortly after we finish our business, we actually get our first trophy of the game. Potty train. Okay, all right, that's our first use a toilet and achieve the highest mastery level. Okay, so the story for this game actually picks up right after where the story of the last game ends, and in front of Cartman and Butter's house we get our first fight, I'm assuming against some of Clyde's warriors again. Shortly after winning that fight, we meet the Coon, and from there is where we switch and we go from playing Dungeons and Dragons to now superheroes. Why do I feel like the code is F you mom? Oh my god. So after that appearance from Bill Cartman check, we now have to go find the password, even though I already know what it is. So once we get in the Cartman's basement, we now get to choose our first superhero class. I think I'm gonna do Speedster though. He seems like the most fun. We'll do Speedster. We'll be with my boy Jimmy. And then now we have to help out Craig get his hamster back. Once we do that, we unlock Super Craig as a combat buddy. So after that, we now have to help out the human kite, Kyle. And what do we have to help out Kyle with? Oh, you know, his annoying little cousin, Kyle, who just kept on popping up throughout this entire game. So yeah, now we have to defeat him in a boss fight. And we didn't even really defeat him. He kind of just defeated himself. After that, we did a little bit more exploring, and we actually got another trophy. Oh, there we go. Hashtag followbacks. Become mutual followers with 10 people in South Park. So throughout this game, there was a lot of combat related trophies that I had to look out for. One of those trophies was to keep an ally alive after them taking double what their maximum health is. That's the first trophy I started going for. I tried going for it in this boss fight. I didn't quite get it though. But instead of getting that trophy in this fight, I ended up getting another combat trophy. All right, well, it's going to give me one trophy, but I wanted the one for killing an enemy with knockback. And there we go, last kid standing, win while 3 allies are downed. So during this fight with the 6th graders, the game asked me what combat challenge I wanted to play on, and I chose Mastermind. That was another part of the trophy that we needed, the missable one called the Token Experience. There was a higher difficulty called Diabolic as well, but I just decided to go with Mastermind to be safe and follow what the trophy said. I then made my way over to the church to see my religion, and yeah, this is the first messed up part of the game. This is why I named the title what it was. We had to go against some very nice priests, you know, that were just trying to have, you know, they were trying to show me a good time, but I didn't really want a good time. So after I defeated them, I was then given my first summon of the game, given to me by Priest Maxi. After that, I got into another fight where I would get another combat related trophy. There we go, there's that trophy, big knocker. I was trying to go for the freaking trophy where you have to keep an opponent alive, and I freaking failed at it twice, killed Craig and Kyle. God damn it, man. Oh, I did get it. Death Dodgers. Thank God. Keep an ally alive for an entire combat while they take twice their max health and damage. Thank God. We also have a lot of cloth, and these give us a lot of crafting rank. Let's go ahead and just craft some of these. Fashionista. Okay. Find 10 costume pieces. Okay, that gave us a trophy too. It's pretty cool. Junksmith, another one. Craft 10 distinct recipes. Okay, so then after that, I was then able to choose my second superhero class. For this, I went with Elementalist. This gave me a pretty nice attack to heal my teammates and also boost their power. After I got out of that, I did some shifting to my abilities and ended up getting another trophy. Hey, class warfare. Equip powers from 2 different classes. Okay, cool. So that's another trophy. I believe we get up to 4. So I was reading the trophy list earlier before I started the game, obviously, and I saw it said equip powers from 4 different classes. So we probably get 4 different classes as we progress through the game. I then realized that I could mess around with some of my outfits. Now, you know, I wanted to get some new drip on my character. I wanted to make my character look nice. I wanted to make my character look like he was ready for war. And with doing that, messing around with some of the costumes, I got another trophy. Hey, cosplay curious. Wear costume pieces from 3 different sets at once. Okay. So after a long day of playing superheroes, it was now time for us to go to bed. And before I actually went to bed, I ended up opening up my toy box and getting another trophy from it. Toxic environment, loot 100 biohazard items. So now during the nighttime, we snuck out of our house and met up with the captain of diabetes. And me and Scott Malkinson would then make our way over to the nightclub. And there was some wild things that happened in the nightclub. We had to do a lap dance mini game. Yes, you heard that right. We made a disgusting concoction of a drink to give to the DJ to basically kill the dude, I mean. And then we had to fight through the entire backstage area and in a long drawn out boss fight. And halfway through this boss fight, we started getting chased by this big freaking woman who literally did like an atomic bomb of a freaking drop. So yeah, this was a wild boss fight. Eventually we got through it though, with the help of Captain Diabetes and obviously your boy himself. And after that, we actually learned our first time fart. Time farts are things in the game where you could do special abilities basically by a fart, like rewinding time or stopping time or changing nighttime to daytime or daytime to nighttime. Eventually we needed to unlock all the time farts to get a trophy, but that was our first one. So after we got out of the nightclub, we went into this Italian restaurant, and this is where the most annoying boss fight, or just fight in general, of the entire game took place. This fight should not have lasted me this long, but this was probably the fight that took me the longest out of the entire game. And that's because these chefs had so much health. There was 4 of them, and there was one chef who stood in the back the whole time and just kept constantly healing the other chefs back to full health. It's so annoying because he heals himself too. I got a trophy for calling a favor, use a summon. This boss fight's really annoying me, dude. I can't even beat it. Like, I was trying to do a trophy before, but now I can't even beat it. But finally, after no joke, like a half an hour of fighting these guys, I finally defeated them. All right, so we're going for a trophy here. He's gonna, okay. End turn. We're gonna back him up, and we're gonna end turn. Now, during his turn, we're gonna turn back time, and he's gonna lose his turn, and then he's gonna, yes, there we go, glitch of death. Use time fart glitch to cause a status affected enemy to lose their turn and die a turns. And that's what I was going for that entire time. I did not expect the freaking chefs to be that goddamn hard. Pasta of Prophets. Craft a macaroni picture of Moses. Okay. After that, we went through a game a little bit and we came across a drunk Randy Marsh, which then triggered another boss fight. Now, in this boss fight, there was actually a special stipulation, which I didn't know at first. Randy Marsh was pretty much targeting Scott the entire time because earlier in the game, we took his keys when he was trying to drive somewhere while being drunk. And in this boss fight, if Randy killed Scott, the boss fight would be over. I learned this one the hard way. But yeah, after we beat Randy Marsh, we got another trophy. Diabetes Defender. Defend a helpless child from a drunk lunatic. But after that, after crafting some more supplies, I got another trophy called Titleist, which was for reaching the highest rank on one title in your character sheet. Basically, throughout the game on your character sheet, there are multiple objectives that you need to complete. And these are things that you can max out. And we actually needed to max out 4 of these things in order to get another trophy later on down the line. So progressing through the game a little bit, we get attacked by some raisin girls in this alleyway. And during that, we meet a new character and we get a little help from her. This is Wendy Testerberger as Call Girl, and she was actually a really good buddy in the game. Let me unlock her later down the line. So now it was finally time for me to get into medicinal fried chicken. But in order for me to get into the medicinal fried chicken, I needed to learn another time fart. This was our second of the game, and this time fart was called Pause. This did exactly what it says. It pauses time for a little bit. So once we did the time fart, I was able to freeze time, deactivate the guns, and once we go inside, we meet up with my boy Tally, trying to rehab from that ganja, that kush, that 420, whatever the hell you want to call it. He gets angry at us, and then we have to go into a boss fight with Tally. Now, this is another boss fight with a special stipulation. In the 4 corners of the board, there was some weed laying on the ground. And basically, what the medicinal fried chicken workers would do is, during this boss fight, at one point, they would set us on fire. And all we simply needed to do was run over piles on the ground, and once we ran over them, we would burn them. Once we light all 4 of the piles on on fire. Then my boy Tally finally calms down and we get ourselves the victory. So taking a pause from the story a little bit, I was going for master on some of the character sheet tiers, and I only needed one more, and that was to defeat some of the Raisin Girls. And once I did that, I finally got the trophy character sheet elite. After that, we ended up getting our third class that we can choose, and for this class I chose the assassin. The assassin has some really nice attacks that you can do to make your characters bleed and create damage over time during the fights. He also has a very good special as well. After that, we got into a big fight with the Freedom Pals again. We ended up defeating them, and then after that we ended up meeting up again with PC Principal. Now in this part of the game, PC Principal asks you about your race and ethnicity, and also gives you the choice to change your skin color if you would like. Now in this right here, I had to make sure to choose the darkest color again, or that would completely void us going for the token experience trophy, which if I did that, I would have to then play through the entire game again. After that, it was nighttime again, and it was time to go to sleep. During the night, we had a new quest and a new common enemy between the Freedom Pals and Coon and Friends. I teamed up with Toolshed, another really useful buddy that I used pretty much throughout the entire game when I unlocked him. So my buddies for the rest of the game pretty much were Toolshed, Call Girl, and either the choice of Super Craig or the Coon. That was the combo of buddies that worked out the best for me. And then once we got into the roof of the storage unit, we went against this big freaking mech thing that Professor Chaos made. And after we defeated him, we went through school again, and after school was done, we got another trophy called Chaos Controlled, another story related trophy. So free roaming around South Park again, there was another trophy at this homeless camp where I had to reach the top of this building in this homeless camp, and I got another trophy. I did it, and there it is right there, the trophy popping up. So now back to the main story. We get grounded along with Professor Chaos, aka Butters, and in the room I was able to craft an artifact that was the might level of 70 or higher, which gave me another trophy named Epic Artificer. I think that's how you say that. After that, we met back up at the school with Tweak and Craig, where I would now have to do some relationship counseling. In here, I would unlock another combat related trophy called Master Manipulator, which was for confusing or charming an enemy into defeating another enemy. I did this by using Tweak and Craig's new freshly unlocked special, which makes everyone in the corresponding area confused, which then causes them to attack each other, and I got the trophy easily that way. So now from all the leveling up that I did throughout the game, there was another trophy called Deep-Seated Power that I finally unlocked, and that trophy was for gaining a might level of 600 or over. But after that, we then got to choose another hero class, our fourth and final one, and the final class that I chose was Plantmancer. Again, we would go through the whole stupid freaking backstory thing that Cartman tells us each time. But after that, I ended up then getting a trophy for equipping 4 different powers from 4 different classes. This was called Master Class, and there it was. There's a trophy popping right there. So now it was nighttime again. It was time for our more nightly antics, and this is probably where the most messed up part of the game came. We're then going into the police station and raiding them. In this fight in the police station, I was able to use the final ultimate power that I needed to use. The final one I needed to use was Mysterion's ultimate power, which granted me the trophy Orgy of Power, which was for using all of the allies' ultimate powers once during the game except the Coons. Where inside of the police station, we would run into Jared from Subway. Yeah, if you don't know what he is involved with, I'm not gonna tell you. You can, if you want to, you can go find out for yourself. We had another boss fight against this weird monster, and for obvious reasons, I'm not gonna show his name, and I also can definitely not say his name. And I think this next story related trophy will pretty much explain why I can't say it. There it is, an end to racism. Put a stop to racism in South Park. But after that little fun section, I then went ahead and unlocked all the summons in the game. The last summon I need was Classy's summon, and once I got Classy's summon, I got the trophy Friend Finder for acquire and unlocking all summons. So now it's time for the final part of the game. We had to enter the South Park genetic engineering. Another messed up part of the game. We had to fight just some weird genetic creatures, man. Just some freaky stuff. There was also a point in the game where we had to choose whether to kill our mother or our father. So yeah, man, this game is just flat out messed up, man. But after that, we then had to fight a genetically mutated cousin Kyle. I thought the chef's fight was annoying. No, this boss fight, just the absolute tank that this boss was, man. This dude would not go down. But then we finally defeat genetic cousin Kyle by releasing the Mega Fart of Doom. That's just what I'm gonna call it. And just farting all over mutated cousin Kyle. And we got the trophy Invasive Tumor Removal, which was for defeating mutated Kyle. But after that, the game wasn't over. The game was sure not over like I thought it would be. This is where stuff just starts getting flat out weird. So the big boss of this game was the Hand Mitch Connor, and he was running for mayor, and basically he won mayor. He won the spot for mayor. So right here we learn another time fart, and this time fart is to take us back in time. So we time traveled to a point in time where Mitch Connor was mayor, and the town has just gone to complete crap. I mean, everyone's fighting each other, and we come across the beautiful woodland critters, or so you would think. They're precious, they're cute. No, eventually Santa Claus shows up, and then these woodland creatures do some kind of ritual, and then they turn into demon woodland creatures. We would then have to defeat these demon woodland creatures with, you guessed it, the help of Santa Claus. We then time travel again back to where we were at the beginning of the game, and then we had to fight all the characters of South Park, you know, Kyle, Butters, and myself from the last game as King Douchebag. So then we finally travel back to before Mitch Connor won mayor, and Mitch Connor is on the Coon, obviously. But not only does Mitch Connor appear on the Coon, he now appears on the Human Kite. So we then have a boss fight between the Human Kite with Mitch Connor on him and the Coon with Mitch Connor on him as well, and we have to defeat both of them. And after we defeat both of them, we get another trophy called Through the Bowels of Time, which was for surviving the farts of future past. So from then, that is finally the end of the game, and at the end of the game we get the trophy, the only missable trophy in this entire game, the token experience. So now it's time to work on some miscellaneous trophies. The first one I went for was to finish up getting all the time farts, and by making ourselves the chocolate memberito, we get our final time fart and we unlock the trophy Fully Bloated. The next miscellaneous trophy was called Corporate Wolf, and I needed to reach the highest economic value on my character sheet. How I did this is I basically played this spin the wheel game. How it worked is you would spin the wheel and there would be prizes on the board, and these prizes can consist of some money, even more money, or the boatload of money, and there would also be a couple spaces on the board alluding to bankruptcy. If you hit the bankruptcy, you would go all the way back down to 0 and restart from where you were. Luckily, I didn't hit bankruptcy once, and I eventually got the trophy Corporate Wolf. The next miscellaneous trophy was to actually now defeat Morgan Freeman in a battle. Yes, the guy that taught you all the powers of your butthole and of farts, we now had to defeat in a battle. But obviously, once we defeated him, we got the trophy Farts Over Freckles, which was for picking a fight with Morgan Freeman and defeating him. I also got some collectible based trophies. The first one alluded to the toilets that I mentioned earlier in the game. This trophy was called Crappin' Forte, and once I took a nice crap in that toilet, got the mastery ranked, I finally got the trophy Crappin' Forte. The second collectible that I needed to get was called Yowie or whatever, and the final piece of Yowie or whatever the hell it was called was in Token's house, and I got the trophy Boy Love Aficionado or whatever the hell that said. Okay, so the last trophy that we need for the platinum is to just simply collect everything in this freaking homeless camp. And I think it's just some of these quarters that are just laying on the ground. And I think we should get it. Freaking coin hidden right here. Let's go. There we go. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. 100%. And finally, more powerful than you think.